Hi, my name's Ian. I'm an engineer. I've done some business. I'm a dad, and like many people, I have been pretty disheartened by what I viewed as a lack of progress on like real meaningful things that could impact climate change. And I'm feeling a lot better now. Um, I heard about people making this molecule. It is nitrogen, the air's 78% nitrogen, and hydrogen, which you can get from electrolysis, electricity, green electricity. And so I have been just sharing videos as I learn more about this because I don't know, I might be the only person kind of doing this. So if you're here, if you're watching, I want to share some good news. So ammonia, this molecule you can make with green power. Um, and that's super cool. This is energy dense. You can use it in place of diesel. You can run a blended fuel and coal fire plants to offset the use of coal. A lot of cool things you can do. But I just learned a bit about how a Danish company is looking at balancing green energy supply and demand. Um, Imagine you have a bunch of offshore windmills and they're kicking off power. What happens if people don't need the power right now? Right? Well, you know, you can turn off a coal fire plant, uh, but could production impact? Are there other ways to balance this? So basically, there's two ways to do this. You can run electricity through water, make oxygen and hydrogen, or you can run electricity through water and get oxygen and ammonia. Different catalysts, slightly different, but either way you do it, it ends up being about 70% efficient to have liquid ammonia, and that's great. Um, but I was kind of curious. I'm like, how you know in a big Harbor Bosch plant, they run for 10 months before you shut it down, right? Like it's a continuous process that's very, very steady because it's quite hot. So you don't want your platinum catalyst like going up and down in temperature. Whereas this electrolysis process it's much lower temperature, much lower pressure. So I was thinking, can you ramp this up? Can you turn it down? Um, Turns out you can. You can dynamic your production can be dynamic. You can make more when you have more cheap power, make less when you don't have any power, and that's awesome because it means you can really take advantage of power when it's cheap, 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 which is going to increase your ROI, increase just basically make this green ammonia far more competitive against diesel or coal or these not green products. Uh, so balancing supply and demand of green power, right? Use production to do it rather than peak power, rather than gas fire plants or something else, batteries. Um, Really cool, really cool. So I don't know how you say it. It's Danish. You can go to their website. I'll leave it in the video link. But yeah, they're the first dynamic power plant. Now, sorry, I talk about ammonia. Basically, from what I'm learning, ammonia seems more promising than hydrogen. They do a two-step process, so um, they do electrolysis to make hydrogen and then they make ammonia from that hydrogen. So you could have ammonia as a product or hydrogen as a product. So you'll see on their site, they talk about both. But yeah, construction's underway. So super, super cool. So you can use ammonia as this really cheap green product. You can just take all the cheap green power you could use to make it. I mentioned earlier you can co-fire coal plants, so feed in both coal and ammonia and burn them at the same time to offset the amount of coal you use. You can put it straight into modified gas plants, and the efficiency on that is actually quite good. Like, so to make ammonia, it's about 70% efficient, and then to put that into a turbine, I mean, there's heat loss and stuff, but the whole end-to-end process is like 24 to 31% efficient. So really, really interesting. I mean, I'm just, it's good news, sharing the good news. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll tell you what I can. All right, cheers.